Okay, we are talking all about celebrating, which, if you've been here a while, we have talked about before. This is something that is kind of a reoccurring thing that I keep coming back to because I need to remind myself just as much as anyone else. Um, it's so important to celebrate what we do well. It's really easy for the mind to see all of our shortcomings, all of the things that we didn't do right, the areas we're not good enough. I'm using the air quotes because these are like things our brain is telling us. It's usually a challenge for us to see where we've grown, to acknowledge our wins, to like see our success. It's really, really difficult. So even if we started a practice of recognizing all that we do, so we are looking for those things, right? Many of us don't know how to actually celebrate. What do we do? Like now I know I did something that I was proud I accomplished, but how do I actually celebrate that? And this is where I'm working on because I'm really good at like writing it down, but now what's the next step? So I'm going to suggest a few things. Have someone in your life that you can call, text, message, anything like that. It could be a coach, a mentor, a loved one, a friend. When you have something to celebrate, you reach out to them. Someone that can say, way to go, or give you that like virtual high five, or maybe a real high five if you happen to be together, and then allow you to feel the joy that comes with those accomplishments. So if you have somebody that you can say, I mean, Mel Robbins' high five habit, it's all about expressing celebration and having that connection with each other. When you high five someone, that's an action. When we have action, our brain starts to believe. The second thing is to keep a list of wins. And I mentioned that I write things down a lot, but this was really hard for me at first. And I was working with one of my coaches, and she said, tell me the wins that you have. And I mentioned a couple of things, and she like stopped me and said, you don't even see all that you're doing each day. Like she was seeing it because I was talking about it, I was sharing it on, social, I was messaging her with things. I didn't see what she was seeing. So she suggested I make a list at the end of every day. And some days it's hard to find things. And the idea is that I'm looking for things to reinforce the concept to my brain that I'm taking action. When we take action, we doubt less, we fear less, we gain momentum, we feel more positive, we feel more energized. And so it's just this shift in feeling stuck to moving forward. And that comes with recognizing it. And the more we put things in front of our brains, again, if you've been here a while, you've heard me say this before, the more we put things in front of our brains, the more likely we are to see it in the future. And then make a list of ways to celebrate. So when I do fill in the blank, I will celebrate by doing fill in the blank. And this could be taking a few hours off of your work. It could be going for a massage. It could be going out hiking, taking a nap, reading a book, buying yourself something new, going out to eat, anything that makes you feel like it's a reward. Whatever your brain deems rewarding for your hard work. And this will look different for all of us. So many times we accomplish things and then we just move on to the next thing. And I am guilty as all get out of this. This is done, check, what's next? I don't have that pause to celebrate the thing I just finished. And so we really can soak in all that it took to get to that point, all that it took to accomplish that thing before we move on to the next thing. This is something I am working on really, really hard, and one reason that I wanted to talk about it with you. Another way to celebrate is to use your own voice and to affirm your accomplishments. Affirmations are reinforcements helping us accept and encouraging us through strong declaration. So what the brain sees, it believes. The more we acknowledge our wins, the more we will find it each day. So I suggest writing them down, reading them often, saying out loud. If you're able to, you could do a voice recording on your phone so you can hear your own voice back, which is really powerful. We don't hear ourselves very often, especially giving ourselves the positive reinforcement, the pat on the back, so to speak. And so that can be really powerful. So again, making your list of wins, finding someone that you can reach out to celebrate with, having ways to celebrate, and then affirming those wins. So reinforcing those things in your life. It's helpful to look back and see what we might have missed. So if you look at a day, maybe at the end of the week or the end of the month, you kind of dig a little bit deeper and see if there's anything more in there. And usually we find it, because in our day-to-day processing, we don't necessarily see those little steps adding up. And so when you look a little bit longer term, you might see that all of these actions created a big result over here. And so you can kind of encompass your days by looking at a little bit longer period of time. We find things we might not normally see by doing that. So my question for you is, what can you celebrate today? What is something that you are doing, that you have done, that you are celebrating? And if you don't have someone to reach out to text, to message, whatever, find me and share it. I would love to hear.